The first is to make a decision to not just give up this habit, also to forego the immediate gratification you receive from doing this activity. Majority want to quit a habit. Majority know this habit is detrimental to their existence. What they find it difficult to understand is you don't just desire to give up a habit, you must also be willing to forego the dopamine this habit gives you. That's the first thing. The second is identify all cues and triggers. I cannot stress this enough. Say you're trying to quit porn, for instance. Identify the triggers, the cues that arouses you sexually. For instance, thirst trapping on Instagram, following a bunch of Instagram baddies who pose half naked is a trigger. Clicking on OnlyFans, watching a movie you know contains a lot of sexual scenes and nudity. And I would argue that most of us do this consciously, either to stave off boredom or say you had a bad day. Well, I might just completely damage the day, today is bad, things did not go as I expected. Stop using this bad habit as a coping mechanism. You're trying to change your life. The first thing to understand is bad things are not unique to your existence. Bad things happens to everyone. The fact that bad things are happening to you validates that you are on the path to success. It's overcoming those negativity and how you interpret the circumstances around your life that will ultimately forge your character. To stop damaging your day completely by relapsing, reverting to that bad habit. The third is now you've taken all these steps aforementioned. You've made a decision to forego the dopamine you receive from that activity. You've identified all triggers and cleared out all things that make you relapse. The third one is to fill this void. If you took action on what I just said, you will quickly realize that there is a void. Those time you spend jerking off and first trapping, staying on page 64 looking for the perfect video, everything becomes empty, ultimately making you relapse. Now you guessed it. What do you do? If you're smart enough, you understand that the next thing to do is to replace this bad habit with a positive habit. Read a book, listen to inspirational messages like this, go to the gym, do something fun, have physical reaction, have physical interaction with people. You know a habit is good if it delays gratification. It's like the contrast of the habit you're trying to extinguish. One gives you immediate gratification, the other delays gratification. They are inversely correlated. So you fill that void is left, the positive habit. Also identify your goals. Most time people relapse or revert to bad habits because they lack direction, they lack purpose. Identify who you want to become, take action and start taking action. And your goal might not be fully formed in and of itself, but more tools will be found along the way. Start where you stand. Identify the vision. There might not be a rigid pathway or a rigid step to take that guarantees you achieving of that goal. But guess what? If you don't take action, failure is guaranteed. Now, if you take action on these three steps, the first is to make a decision not to only quit this habit, also to forego the dopamine and immediate gratification you receive. The second is identify all triggers and cues. In that moment, find out why does this thing trigger you. Ask yourself why. Regress it down to its basic. Why do I do this? Why? Why? Why do I wear this kind of form? Oh, I like this kind of thing. Why? Why? You get to the last answer. The third is, let me run that back. The first is, now if you take action, if you take conscientious and continuous action on the three keys aforementioned, you will not only improve the quality of your life, you will inadvertently cure and extinguish that habit permanently. Application. The first is to make a decision to forego this habit and the immediate gratification you receive. The second is to identify all cues and triggers to this bad habit. The third is, after taking step one and two, fill that void with positive activities to ultimately improve the quality of your life. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for listening. I believe you all can beat whatever problem you're going through. This is not unique to your existence. It's not your fault. You've just been badly mentored and you received a wrong orientation. No one is better than the other. You can do this. You can beat whatever problem you're going through. Imagine, for instance, you and I were to switch minds. Then you would produce the same result as I with your body. So what's the difference between that version of you and this current version? Your mindset. As you keep watching videos like this and improving your mind, you don't have to switch minds logically, but it's at the surface you say. Reading a book is like having a conversation with the finest of men in past centuries. So this is like a conversation between you and I. Although you cannot contribute, you can only listen. So take action today. I believe you can do it. I'll see you in the next one.